Okay, everybody, Paperboy back at you. Just driving across southern Indiana, heading west on 64. Been a lot of road work so far on this stretch of freeway. They've had it working, repaving one lane. I'm back to 2 lanes now, but a lot of road work. And I got a call from one of my old workmates at the newspaper a little while ago. He was telling me that an old workmate of ours had passed away a couple weeks back. I think he said he was 71 years old. He'd been retired a few years, but yeah, got me. We were talking about some old newspaper stuff, and he was giving me a little update on some of the changes, how they've shuffled some of the people around, and layoffs and reformulating management, little stuff like that. But I was like, man, I didn't get out of there a minute too soon. In fact, the building, I used to split time at my most recent job at the newspaper there in Little Rock. I used to kind of split time between the main office and a satellite office, I guess you could call it. And that satellite office a little while ago just got completely torn down as part of the I-30 road project. So the place where I used to work most of the time is not even there anymore. But anyway, I got to thinking too, I ran across a guy the other day. We were just talking. He actually recognized me. He was another Maverick driver, and he was like, "Hey, you're Paperboy," and he was telling me, that he and his brother used to have a paper route when they were young, and I run across people like that all the time over the years, that used to have paper routes. That was a real common thing 25 years ago or longer. The longer you go back, the more prevalent it was that young people, a lot of people, young people, that was their first money-making gig, and then it got to be later on in the 80s and 90s where insurance requirements kind of got us away from using kids to going with adults. But I even heard a thing just a couple days ago. I was watching this thing about Eddie Van Halen. I had it playing on my phone here. I wasn't really watching it. I was listening to it. Something, just had my phone going. And but Eddie Van Halen made the comment that really the only kind of a real type of job he ever had, was his paper route he had when he was young. Other than that, all he ever did was play the guitar. But yeah, I've run across so many people over the years that, have a story to tell about, when they had a paper route. They helped their dad on a paper route, or their family had a paper route. So yeah, a lot of stories out there about having a paper route. But yeah, having that call from my old buddy at the paper kind of got me thinking more about newspaper stuff. Because I am the paper boy. Paperboy trucker. Oh, and I saw a thing earlier today. I had it planned. Oakley Trucking, they put out a podcast, and I like to watch that from time to time. Some good information. So they had a new one that popped up on my YouTube earlier, so I played it. Like I said, I didn't really watch it. I just had it playing over my sound system here in the truck, listening to it. But they had, and I forget her name, but the president of the Arkansas Trucking Association. I hope I got that right. But they did a nice interview with her, and she was saying how, you know, it's up for discussion now about maybe lowering the age for truck drivers to not 13, 18. So, you know, that's kind of scary to me. I think to be with Maverick, I think you have to be at least 21. And even that sounds kind of young sometimes. But, yeah, I guess, you know, the driver shortage has caused them to take a look at that and consider lowering the age requirement for new truck drivers. So that's a new topic that's out there. But yeah, they were talking about the shortage of drivers and, you know, how the pandemic's really kind of made it, you know, kind of got us behind in producing new drivers because a lot of the CDL training programs and schools shut down for a while. So there's just a big gap in new driver production. And now, you know, with all this government aid that was thrown out there, a lot of people just aren't back to work, you know, because they've been getting free money. So it's a challenge. It's always been a challenge, I think, for trucking companies, but really now, like the guy with Oakley, he was saying that, you know, a year and a half ago they had a waiting period to get started as a driver. You know, they'd have people ready to go, wanting to go with Oakley, and they use all independent operators, you know, no employee drivers. But they had, you know, like several months wait time to get started for orientation. Now it's like, you know, they're struggling every week, you know, to get people started. So you know, I don't know how it is for everybody, but it's probably a similar situation for most trucking companies. But that was kind of cool, kind of interesting. All right, so yeah, my GPS says I'm a little over 4 hours away from Festus, Missouri. I've got this load of drywall that delivers there. They receive tomorrow from 7 a.m. to I think 3 p.m. I'll be flipping from Eastern time to Central time too, so, you know, I can get there probably, let's see, I could probably get there by 4 p.m. today, but they won't be receiving, so I'm planning just to camp out there tonight and be there first thing in the morning, and then hopefully go somewhere to get a load heading home. So that's it for now. More later. All right, folks. Hey, I stopped back there. I think that was at the Loves in Evansville, Indiana, where supposedly one of my grandmother's family moved from that area down to southern Arkansas. Let me turn that thing on. Anyway, yeah, got a shower, shave, feel good. I can drive I got about 3 hours and 10 minutes left, it says, but up ahead, the skies look very dark and ominous, so I'm thinking I'm going to be driving into some rainstorm here pretty soon. But the subject of this discussion, I remembered last night when I first got to International Crankshaft there in Georgetown, Kentucky. I parked and I was walking up to see about getting unloaded, checking in, you know, see what was up, because I was like 3.5 hours early. There were a couple of Maverick drivers already parked up there ahead of me, up there untarping, unsecuring. So I was walking up to them, and this young fella, his name was Russ, he recognized me and said, "Hey, Paperboy." And so I stopped, shook his hand, talked to him a minute, and he said something to me that made me feel good. He said, hey, I watch your videos and you got a lot of good information in your videos, especially one of those you did about going to Catoosa, Oklahoma. I guess he's fairly new to driving, and he said that he had watched the Catoosa video and it really helped him navigate through there and know how it works. So, you know, that makes me feel like, hey, all this stuff I'm doing here, it's worth my time and is actually helping somebody. So thank you, Russ, for that comment and for watching my video. Oh yeah, I can see the rain.